right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this week's installment of DI How to Wise webinar series. So glad you can make it. Just a couple quick housekeeping things. Of course, we're going to keep you guys all on mute. It's all good. Just don't want everybody chatting all at once. But if you have any questions, please send them via the chat format in GoToMeeting, or you can always, give us an email. Throw me an email, dihowtowhy at dealerinspire.com. Talk to your AM. We'll get your questions answered. Also, the webinar will be available on our website within 24 hours. So please make sure to check it out. I'll send the link out so you have the recording and you can watch it for all times and it'll become your favorite thing. And maybe you can nominate it for an Oscar or something. Um, and the other little tidbit is just have a good time. Be conversational. We're going to, this is going to be good. We're going to chat. We're going to learn about conversations, which is an amazing tool that we have. So I'm going to talk about my guest here. You guys know me, Shawnee, training evangelist here, bringing you all the good stuff. But with me today is Nate Jones. Nate Jones, who is the premier blues trumpeter straight out of Kansas City. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, Nate. Oh, okay. Nate Jones, lead product manager. So he might play blues or jazz. I don't know. Looks jazzy. If he's wearing a fedora right now and a bow tie, it'd be awesome. So thank you so much for joining me today, Nate.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. So I guess before we get started talking about conversations, I just wanted to take a quick step back and look at chat in general. So increasingly, your success is going to rely more and more on your ability to provide extraordinary customer service. I tracked down one of our some stats from one of our clients here, and their site welcomes around 250,000 unique visitors annually. So if we do the math, 77% of that comes out to just over 192,000 uniques every year, which would be a ton of phone calls and a lot of emails. So chat gives you the perfect opportunity to convert those leads in a way that's convenient for them. If we look at this other stat, 44% of consumers, if this is true for like deciding on if you need a gray t-shirt or a charcoal t-shirt, imagine how true it is for purchasing a vehicle. And it goes on beyond from just being a nice thing to have to having it be one of the absolutely most important functions that your website can provide. And then this one is kind of what sealed the deal for me. You can see it's the most satisfactory for your customers. But the other part of it is that how many phone calls can you be on simultaneously? You can be on one. Like how many emails can you have simultaneously? You could maybe have more than one, but then you have to wait for people to reply. But chats, you can effectively handle up to 6 at the same time.
Think about it this way, folks. If your preteen or teenage, niece, nephew, kid, whatever, can do this, then we can too. They can have multiple chat windows open. We can do this too. Have faith.
All right, so that's enough with the charts, and we can jump right into seeing what the product actually looks like. So we'll jump out of the slides, and here I'm already logged in to the back end of Conversations. You can see pretty robust reporting is included. You can of course change the times that you're looking at. I'm going to jump right into a chat. So you can see I'm now available on the back end of Conversations. And then if I have another window open for, we'll pretend to be the customer as well. So Conversations pops open because somebody is available to answer their chat. And we'll just start a chat right here for the customer. So I'll hit start your conversation, and we see a giant pop up here for, this is for me to answer it. So I'm again, the agent. This popped up in front of all my windows, and it actually has a nice bell that keeps repeating and repeating. It's super hard to miss. So now that I've answered the chat, the first thing I see is that what page the visitor is on. So this is great because it gives me an opportunity to look a little bit more into just being a cold chat. I can see what maybe they're looking at a specific model, gives me some more context about it. Now for the customer, they're able to fill in their first name, last name, email address if they want, or they can just say skip this step and they're dropped right into the conversation as well. So the first thing you're probably going to end up doing every time you answer a chat is typing the same thing over and over again. So to avoid that being so tedious and to avoid misspellings or anything like that, we have a whole set of what we call hotkeys, which are just already programmed in. They're completely editable, but already programmed in things that you say commonly. So instead of typing it in, I'm just going to say /hi and hit enter. And it automatically drops in what we have decided at our dealership is the appropriate greeting for a chat. And it dynamically puts in my name since I'm the agent. And then from the customer side, you can see I come right across. I have my nice little picture, and I can chat right back. So throughout the course of the chat, the agent is able to, you're able to upload images. If there are extra images that you want to drop in, you can upload, you can insert a link into the chat. I see over here on the left-hand side where it says other conversationalists, I see that James is logged in. So if this was a chat that would be better answered by James, I can go over to transfer, and there's James, and I could just transfer the chat right to him, and he'd be able to pick up where I left off. So I'd already mentioned the hotkeys, so we could drop any one of those in as well. We also have emoji in here because who doesn't want to have emoji in here? And the other part of it is we already gave the customer an opportunity to type in her name and her email address at the beginning, but she didn't feel comfortable doing that. She can do it later. So if we get to the part of the conversation where she's interested in telling us what her name is, she tells us what her name is. And this whole conversation over here in the visitor info part, it says unknown visitor because we don't know who she is yet. Well, now we do know who she is. So I could copy and paste it over, or I can just click on this explode to text and it draws little boxes around everything that she's said. And I can say that's her first name, there's her last name, and as I'm doing it, it's dropping it over here. I'll also drop in her email address. So now we know who she is, we know how to get a hold of her, which are the two requirements for this to automatically be sent to your CRM. So that when the chat ends, as long as we know the customer's name and either email or a phone number, if we have some way to get a hold of that customer, this is automatically going to be sent to the CRM. You don't need to remember to do that at the end of each chat.
All right, Nate, I have a question for you. So, and I might be jumping ahead a bit, but just thinking about, having this information pop up. Is there a function in here for notes? For instance, if she really doesn't want, she just cannot do a silver car because everybody has a silver car. It's got to be, a primary color or one of the other colors, and that's something that's important to her. Is there a place where we can put those kind of special notes?
Sure, there is. So first of all, if that comes up in the conversation, that's going to be in the transcript that gets sent to the CRM. So you're going to have all that information anyway. But then we'll see once the conversation ends, we'll see where this says send email and schedule. There'll be a third button over here that says send to CRM. And that's going to also allow us to type in some extra notes if we needed to do that. So, all right, let's say that Steph is super interested in a C300. I'm going to go down here to the glove compartment, and this is a real-time feed from my inventory. And I just search for C300, and it automatically, of course, limits it to just C300s. Maybe you're right. Maybe she doesn't like silver. Maybe she wants a black one. So we'll say C300 black. I'll hit enter again, and there are all of our black C300s that we have in stock. So this one looks good. So I'm going to drag this one out of my inventory right into the chat. And I can say, how's this? And send over the vehicle to her. So she doesn't just see a link. She sees an actual image of the vehicle. She sees some description. So she doesn't even have to click on the link right away. She's able to see this is an automatic. Maybe I want a manual. Maybe I want all-wheel drive. She's able to see all those details right away. So if she clicks on it, it'll take her right to the VDP. And of course, the chat persists. So she's still on our site. She didn't have to reopen the chat. It pops right up to where she was. But super importantly, if we switch back over to the agent side, you can see where she went. So maybe she really liked the car that you sent her. Maybe she went to a different page. So maybe I don't need to search for C300s. Maybe I should search for a different model. We're able to track every move that she makes throughout the store.
That brings me to another question. So that is amazing. I mean, it's awesome because, like, especially if you could just say what you want, you don't have to worry about typing in everything. You have an agent right there with you. So I noticed that it takes to the BDP. So the BDP gets that point for the click. However, how does this conversations how does it play into Google Analytics? I know it has its own metrics that we can measure and everything like that, but where does it how does it show up in Google Analytics if especially if somebody's really using conversations to the most that they can use it for?
Well, since it is embedded on the page, all of these things are going to be able to show up in your analytics. We also do, obviously, we also have our own metrics in the back for agent measurement. But yes, we definitely are able to use analytics from the customer side of it as well, just because it is embedded directly on the page. It's not an iframe. It's not a third-party product. It's really just right in there on the page.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. So in addition to having your inventory feed down here in the glove compartment, we also have a calculator. So let's see, this vehicle is 48,060. Say interest rate, say a loan term, maybe she has 7,000 down. I don't have to break out my calculator. It does that already. I can attach it, drag and drop it right into the chat, and she's able to see that her monthly payment would be 738 for 6 months at 3%. So she's able to see again as the negotiations progress, we can just drop these right into the chat. One of the other things we have in the glove compartment are our accolades. So maybe she's sort of on the fence. Maybe she doesn't know if this is a C class is right for her. Well, we just so happen to have in here what Edmunds.com says about a C class. So sometimes it's not, what's most powerful isn't you saying how great your products are, but other people saying how great they are as well. If we have any incentives, we can again search for our incentives. Here we have a lease special for the C class. We can just drag and drop that in. We also have brochures, so we will connect to a national database of brochures, all the big, beautiful PDF brochures. I can search through those and find what I need and drag and drop those in as well for her. We also connect to your YouTube channel. So if there are any great walkarounds that you have, anything like that, I can just drag and drop it right into the chat. And when she clicks on it, it's going to open up in a new tab for her. So they're able to see that as well.
Excellent. So I'm also monitoring the chat here, and so far, everybody's just going nuts about this. This is amazing, and I think part of the best part of it is that everything is right here. You don't have to go into another site. You don't have to go another page. You don't have to say just one moment and pull up another browser window and say, let me find that for you. Like, it's all within arm's reach, and I think that is huge on both ends because the agent is going to be able to just have everything readily available. Don't have to worry about putting the customer on hold. They're able to get what they need. It's amazing, and I'm still blown away. And I've seen this for quite some time now, so it's awesome.
Yeah, we've worked really hard to make it really useful and convenient for the agents. But it also, you're exactly right, though. It gives the customer, it meets their expectation of immediacy. They're expecting on a chat for it to be really fast and for it to be really convenient. And by making it that way for our agents, then you're able to pass that along to the customers.
Okay. I know there's probably a whole bunch more stuff you need to show us, but a quick question. So,
Sure.
So we got Fred who wants to know, how can he add more users and user photos? So so how do you get those other conversationalists online? Like, is that if they, is it a program they log in? Is it a plugin? Is it, how does that work?
Sure. So it's all browser based. It's all web based right now. And for each administrator, stores can have multiple administrators. You can just go right into the back end and add new users. We don't bill on a per user basis or anything like that, or a per lead basis. So you're welcome as long as they are trained and are comfortable doing it, because you definitely want to have a plan for supporting what you roll out. So as long as they're ready to start chatting, you can go in and add them yourself, or you can drop me an email and I'm happy to do it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see throughout this whole chat, since we do know who the person is, over here on the right-hand side, we now have her name. We have the total time that the chat has been taking. We have the total time that she's been on the site. And if she's visited sites that are in the Dadium network, we also pull in all of that Datium data right in there as well. So the date in the market, her average price, her Datium score, all that stuff is going to automatically be dropped in to give you more context just beyond whatever the customer is chatting with you at that moment. You know a little bit more about them then.
Excellent.
One of the other things we've been talking a ton about its main purpose, which of course is chatting with customers. One of the other sort of side benefits of this is that you can see over here on the left we have other conversationalists, and I already said we could transfer this chat to James. I don't have to just transfer him a chat. If maybe James is in the finance office and I'm ready to send somebody back to him, but I'm not quite sure if he's ready yet, I can say. I can send James a chat internally, and James just received a notification for this, and he can chat right back to me. So it's whether it's finding out if finance paperwork is ready or if somebody wants to go to Chipotle for lunch. We, in addition to having it be customer-focused chat, we also do support internal chat as well, which is huge. Should we try video chatting?
Let's do it.
Let's try video. Okay, so this will be a little bit awkward because I'll be video chatting with myself. So it'll take a little bit of imagination.
So meta, so Inception.
So whether it's a really long conversation that the customer just doesn't want to type out, or whether it's a service call and you don't feel like making funny noises with your mouth to describe what noise your car is making, or whether it's the customer just wants to see how big the trunk actually is. Maybe it wasn't that way in the walkthrough and they want to see it in person. We offer video chatting as well. So I just start up a video chat and I'll allow it. So it should be chatting. And let's see if it comes through. Oh, it must be because I'm trying to chat with myself. Well,
you shouldn't chat with yourself.
I shouldn't chat. That's the lesson for today. So we shouldn't chat with ourselves.
You go blind.
Exactly. So anyway, we do offer that video chatting as well, which is great. It's one of those things that's really I had mentioned on one of my slides before, mentioned some stats from Forrester research, and one of their stats was from 2013, and when I looked up their 2015 study, they talked about how video chatting is really it's one of the key areas of growth that they're looking at. For the first time, web surpassed voice as far as customer support is concerned, and they're predicting that video chatting is going to be one of those super growth areas that everybody's used to doing it in their home life, and now it's you're going to do it with companies that you trust.
Okay. I have a question here. So so we know Conversations is ready now. It's already rolled out, right?
Yeah.
Conversations, all right. So Conversations already rolled out. So will this be something that we will, at some point, do you think it'll be something that will offer to third-party websites? Or are we just going to keep this, all to ourselves so we can be awesome?
It's a JavaScript embed. So, I mean, there's no reason that it couldn't go on your blog. There's no reason it couldn't go anywhere you want it to go. Right now, we've definitely been focusing on our DI sites, but there's no reason it couldn't go elsewhere. Yeah.
Are there any designs in making it for, not just DI, but, any of the other websites that we have here? Like, I know that the glove, everything we have set now is for automotive because it's, that's where the most need
Absolutely.
is. But, down the line, if we're, selling widgets, will we have a widget
Exactly.
glove department?
Yeah, that's absolutely. So there are sort of two or three major growth areas that we're anticipating, and we've built the actual structure that's behind the screens in such a way that we'll be able to have an auto dealership theme, and we'll be able to have a widget theme, and there's no reason that all of this sort of live feed, live inventory, whatever your inventory may be, there's no reason that those things can't go across verticals. So that's definitely one of the areas that we're looking at as far as expanding outside of auto. And the other is mobile, and we're making great progress developing native mobile apps. So we're big supporters of realizing that the future of interacting with the web isn't sitting in front of your computer, it's holding the web in your hand. So we're making great progress in developing mobile apps, both for iOS as well as Android, that will allow the agents not to be chained to their desks all day, and it'll allow them to get out and answer chats wherever they are.
Okay. All right. So I see some other really close. Actually, I have quite a few questions of my own. Like I said, I've seen this, but like I have so many questions of my own. But let's um, let's see if what. So what's going on down here with the agents, the Nate Jones sales? Yeah. What are those? What are those numbers?
Sure. So this is kind of a fun part, but it's also like super usefulness disguised as fun. So this is our point total. So as we've been conducting this chat, I've been earning points for every action that I make. I got a point for accepting the chat. I received a couple of points for getting a first name, a couple for getting a last name. I got a bunch of points for doing a video chat. So throughout this entire chat, I've been earning points, which is fun because then it also allows me to compare myself across from my other agents in the store. It also allows me to earn badges. But the sort of useful part of it is also that from sort of an admin part, you don't need to go into everybody's transcript of all the agents who are chatting for you. You're able to look sort of way super top down and see who's earning the most points. So it takes it beyond who's answering the most chats to who's being the most effective when they work those leads inside of the chats.
Excellent.
Another way to measure how effective people are is surveys. So let's close this chat out. We've had a good chat with the person. You can see the Save to CRM button that I'd mentioned before. It exposes the notes. So this is automatically going to be sent to the CRM because we have her name and a way to contact her. But now the customer, since the chat has ended, she's able to give us some survey feedback about how useful she thought it was. So I'm going to say awesome because I'm a little biased.
Yeah, of course.
So this of course then gets attached to me as the agent because it's another way to measure how good I am at my job. But then the customer is then also presented with links as well. So these are totally customizable. These are one of those things that we're happy to help set up, or you can feel empowered and set them up on your own. But these give the customers somewhere to go after the chat has ended, as opposed to just leaving the site.
Oh, okay. So those links they all lead back to the site. So it's all about keeping them on the site as long as possible.
Exactly.
Brilliance.
Yeah. So that's the whole demo.
Is it possible to show us a little bit more of the back end?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You want to see some of the reporting and stuff?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. I think that it would be good to, especially like, kind of seeing where to, add things, just how things can be customized if clients want to, kind of do this on their own. I know that we're always available to help anyone out, but just in case you're going to be all, DIY about it. So.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to just go up here and click on my name and go to my account. And that's going to drop me back out into, of course, my account settings, which actually brings up an excellent point. One of the most important things is you may be able to see a little conversations logo up here in my browser. We have desktop notifications that'll pop up on the chat, but the giant notification that you saw is part of our own Chrome extension. So it's another way that we're able to leverage some of the powers of the web, and we built our own Chrome extension that gives that really hard to miss notification when a new chat comes in. So you can see I'm able to set whatever, change my password, change my avatar, all that kind of stuff on a personal level. If we go over to the hotkeys, these are all the hotkey shortcuts. So there's the one that I did with hi. These are totally editable. Maybe your store isn't an awesome store. Maybe you're more of a great store. So we'll change it to great. Hit save changes, and there it is changed. So whenever any of the agents in this dealership do the available, it's not going to say awesome anymore. It's going to say great. So it's very easy to change them. Adding a new one is just as simple. If we go to the glove compartment, down here are a whole bunch of vehicles, but those are the coming in from the feed, so you never have to worry about touching those. I added an accolade. We dropped that into the chat from Edmunds.com. So here's where the accolades are. If I need to add a new one, I can just click add new and add whatever I need to add. Okay. And then the links that we showed after the visitor did her survey, These are the 4 links. So again, we can add this or change it, anything you need to do.
All right. Thank you so much. So, okay, so this is the question, with how awesome this is and how robust it is. It does seem like a game changer. I mean, to me, it just looks like, I mean, you just garnered a lead. I know that you were talking to yourself, but if you were talking to someone else, like it was still, like it's a great way to garner leads that could, lead to sales. So the big question is, what's the cost on this? What's the cost structure?
So it is a flat fee. There is a setup fee that's a flat fee, and then there's a monthly fee as well. And again, it's not based on however many leads you have or however many agents you have, but it is just based on a flat fee. So I would definitely talk to your account manager about it, or drop me an email about it. But yeah, it's not something that we have to worry about billing per user or anything like that.
All right, yeah, I would definitely suggest to drop an email at sales@dealerinspire.com, or chat with your AM, just as Nate said, and get the ins and outs of that. Giselle just asked, our chats saved automatically, which they are, right? Yeah, I saw that on the left panel how there was recent chats, recent conversations.
Yeah, we'll go back. So maybe on Steph's chat I forgot to do something, or maybe I forgot to make a note of something. So I can just go back to over here in my recent conversations. I can scroll back. I opened up hers. It opens right back up, and I can see the whole history. So if I can see what I needed to do that I didn't do already. Maybe this is a really super awesome chat, and I wanted to share it with my manager. I can just click on share and type in whatever email address I want to add, and they'll be sent the whole transcript. I can even click print, and it's going to print out the whole transcript. So it's all human readable. It's all time stamped. You can see all that stuff. You can even see the car that I attached. So all that kind of stuff is right there at your fingertips.
Great. All right, we got a lot of questions coming in. This is awesome, guys. Okay, all right, so how functional is the chat admin side from a mobile device? So the chat receptionist, the chat receptionist working from a mobile? Okay, and let me know if I got this correct, Jay. So basically, would this, we know that the customer can use their mobile and go from it. So does the, on the dealership side, on the admin side, do they have to be chained to a desk, or can they be on their mobile or their iPad?
Yeah, so right now we do require Chrome as far as the browser for the agent. The customer is able to use whatever browser they want to be able to use, but for the agent side, we definitely do require Chrome right now, just because we are doing some pretty fancy stuff with the video chatting and with the notifications. So right now, yeah, that is limited to desktop on Chrome. However, we do, as I mentioned before, our commitment to mobile. We definitely do have well underway Android and iOS fully functional, fully featured chat apps.
Good. Let's see. Well, I think we answered one of these. So, is there rerouting, meaning can you channel different conversations to different departments? But yeah, that was when you can go to the other conversationalists and either transfer or you can chat internally.
Right.
Christian, that is down at the other conversationalists, and you're able to either transfer the conversation that you have going on currently, if they want to talk financing or however, or you can chat internally and say and ask the other person, hey, is the papers ready? Are the papers ready? Is the car washed and detailed? So you can do that kind of stuff. So yeah, you are able to reroute them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good question from Bruce. Can SMS functionality be handled through conversations?
Absolutely. Thank you, Bruce. So at the very beginning, I'm going to restart this chat and let me show you. If we were on our phones, or I guess even here, instead of starting a chat from here, I can tap text us, and it's going to require me to put in my name and phone number and a message. So what that's going to do from the customer side is then the customer is going to be able to receive a text message to the phone number that they entered, and just making sure that it's okay with us. It's okay with them to text with you. So once they reply confirm, it's going to come in as a chat. So it can be a chat from the customer can chat from the website. They can text message from their phone. It's going to come in the same way. And instead of over here we see unknown visitor with a little person icon, it would actually just be a telephone icon. So you don't necessarily need to treat them any other way, but you would definitely be able to know that they are texting from their phone as opposed to chatting. Now, the other super crazy useful side of this is that from the technical part of it, you have to have a phone number, of course, to receive texts. So each dealership has their own text phone number through Conversations. So it works great for you to be able to text with your customers from their site, but that phone number would also be available for you to put on a brochure, to put on a postcard, or anything like that. So it really takes the texting just off of an interaction based on the website to allow you to really spread that and answer texts from any of your agents who are available. And then also you don't have to worry about putting them to your CRM because they're going to come in as leads since they text into Conversations. We know who they are. They're automatically going to be sent to the CRM as a lead.
Right. Great. Thank you. All right. So, okay, more good questions. All right, what type of notification methods can we set up to ensure somebody is aware of the chat request and gets on it? And yeah, I know. Okay, so I remember seeing this in a demo. So basically, and it also ties into what happens after hours. So how does the dealership make sure that when a conversation ping comes in, that somebody's on it, that somebody's there, and if it comes in after hours?
Sure. So you saw the giant notification pop up when the first chat came in, so that you're going to get reminded, and that's a notification that goes out to all agents who are available. So since James was available, he also saw that notification. I just had a quicker trigger finger than he did, or I asked him not to answer it so that I could look special. And so you're going to be able to see that. You're going to get 3 notifications for each chat. Those are going to be browser based, and you saw that they jump up on top because it's an extension. It's not just a notification. You don't have to have this tab open and on top of everything. It's going to jump up and do that. We also, as our first version of our mobile apps, we have notification apps both for iOS and Android. iOS is in public beta right now, so if you're interested in that, please email me and let me know, and I can hook you up with that. But that's going to push a notification to the agent's phone as well. So it'll send them a notification to make sure that they get back to their desk and answer that chat. Now, as far as after hours, if no agents are logged in, Conversations is going to pop up and just present them basically with this, except instead of phone number, it'll say email, and it gives the customer an opportunity to leave a message that'll be sent into Conversations. So you're not missing out on those leads. You're also not tricking them into thinking that somebody's going to answer. It's definitely different, and it says leave a message. So the customer knows what the expectation is, that it is a message and it's not a chat for them to wait around for it to be answered.
Good. Is there some sort of like auditory like tone? Can you get like a can of
Yeah,
beer
yeah. It's a bell. It's frankly, it's obnoxious, which it should be,
right.
because you don't want to miss it. So it's in addition to it popping up in front of all of your screens, it's also going to be a really loud bell, and it's not just like a ding ding. It's repeating. It's very persistent. Right. It's going to be difficult to miss it.
Okay. I know I have a question when I was noticing that you're talking about you can kind of get some of the financing numbers and everything. So is it when you're presenting those to a customer, this, if you put this much down and it'll have this, is it one, or is it legally binding? Like, are there any disclaimers that are around there? Just so CYA, everybody, we always have to CYA.
The only disclosure we have right now, it just says it doesn't include sales tax and fees. So it's really just meant to be a step in the negotiation. It's not meant to be a binding offer necessarily.
Okay. All right. Jay's got a really great question.
Yeah.
So many training videos are documents, so Jay is ready to go.
I love it.
He's ready to go. Yes, we got people who are
Awesome.
They want this now. So
Right.
what do we need to do to get for any sort of documentation for training?
Yeah, so we do have some videos of different scenarios. We have a big overview video, which is like this, but it goes on much longer and much more in depth. So those are definitely always available for our clients, but we also, you're listening to them right now. So if there's if there are training needs, whether it's getting started with training or you've been a long time customer and you just need a refresher, you just drop me a line or talk to your account manager, and I am happy to be accommodating and sit down with you for an hour or an hour and a half, whatever it takes, and get you comfortable, get all of your agents comfortable.
Please tell me in those videos when you're talking, there's like some like slow blues going on in the back. Okay. Awesome. All right. All right. Yeah, any more questions here before we start to wrap up? Go to the last slide. Oh, that looks like, okay. Oh, uh-oh. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to update.
We'll go back to that one.
Yeah, then look at this. We're a little bit different in some pretty powerful ways. So this is a better slide than what I have. So thank you so much, Nate. It was a pleasure to have you. It's his first webinar, and I actually, when he first started, I think like it had to have been like your first week and at a team meeting, and we found out that you were doing the conversations. I ran up to him and I grabbed him and said, "You are doing a webinar. You are doing a webinar." So thank you for obeying.
Absolutely. This has been great.
Next week it is going to be Alan Hain, but Alan Hain is going to be talking about deep links. And Deep Links is not a Cinemax movie. It is all about link building, creating like a link structures and really kind of creating those SEO values so that everybody so that when people come to your site and you build growth organically. So that's what he's going to be talking about. And he's also talking about, I don't know, something about a sandbox. I don't know. Alan is nuts. So you're definitely going to learn something. I was like, I like sandboxes, but apparently it's a bad sandbox. You don't want to be in the sandbox. So it's something newish from Google that Alan is going to be talking to us all about. So make sure you tune in for that one next week. Also want to throw a quick reminder about the Innovation Awards that Dealer Inspire is going to be hosting at Two Brothers December 3rd. So there should be, we have some social posts out there. You can also contact your AM or myself or, Joe, Bruce, anybody here that, if you got a number for DI or launch, just shoot an email and ask about it. And yeah, we're going to have a great time, and we're going to show our appreciation for a lot of you out there, a lot of you innovators out there that are coming up with some amazing stuff on your own in your sites and just showing how amazing and robust our web platform is. So thank you in advance. So that's it. We're good. You're saved.
Awesome. Thank
All
you.
right. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see you next week. It's going to be another amazing one. And just remind you again, as always, that I'm Shani, the trainer of technology for innovative dealers such as yourself. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you.